Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of your favorite Ravens, talking Ravens all day, every day, with your host Justin P and my co-host Miss Shannon Finch. Sorry about that. We're trying to get a little better with it. That's why we didn't record the other day. But just work with us. Like I said, the links are right there in the description for the audio version. Today, co-host got some great topics for us as usual. We got to talk about this ugly, ugly loss. Another one we gave away on a silver platter to the arch rival Steelers at that. We're streaming live on YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch, so you can follow me on those platforms as well. They're also in the description right below. Excuse me. Shannon's social media platforms are in the description as well, so you can follow us there. So now let's get to the nitty gritty. Let's go ahead and talk about this loss, co-host. So the floor is yours.
All right. So let's start with your good, bad, and ugly in week five.
All right. Matter of fact, hold on real fast. I got my guest here. He just joined a little late. Man, got my guy Kyle Mcechearn to the show. Did I say it right, bro?
No, it's Mcechearn, but it's all good. How y'all doing? How y'all
McKeitcher. Oh
doing?
my
How you
bad. I'm not
doing?
Kyle McKeitcher. Yeah, man, he came to join us today on this, good Tuesday evening. So we're gonna go ahead and let him start first. So go ahead, Shannon. Go ahead. Let him know what the topic is.
Okay. All right. So what is your good, bad, and ugly for week five?
Ah, the good is, I would say, honestly, I would say the good. People had a problem with the play call. I honestly never had a problem with the play call. I feel like it was more so the execution. So I feel like the good was more so the play calling and the defense that was holding us down through the game for the most part. Of course, the bad and the ugly for me. I, the bad was more so that decision to even have the offense on the field on fourth down, going into the half, and it's a big thing. We needed them points to go into that, but it's a Steelers Ravens rivalry, so all the points matter. But the ugly, of course, for me is definitely the drops. The amount of drops that we had was definitely horrendous. It was it was unforgivable for all the money that we spent on that receiving core. So those are my three biggest takeaways from this week's game for real.
Hmm.
Okay. Go ahead, co-host.
Uh, my good, I will say, Lamar was good. Lamar was great. I mean, outside of the drops, if they didn't drop the ball, that would have been a great game for him. Lamar was pretty good. I think the defense was good. They kept us in a game. If it wasn't for them, it would have never even been as close as it was. Um, and also, I really didn't have much of an issue with the play calling either. That was more towards the end of like the half and the end of the game. I was worrying about particular things, but overall, I think they had a good game plan going in. The bad, I would say, I too don't like that we didn't just kick the field goal. Sometimes coaches can get too cute in situations when it makes sense. We know how it is when we play against the Steelers. Every point counts. It always comes down to the last possession. It doesn't matter who's on the team. That's what it comes down to. So when you get a position to take those points, you got to take them. So we kind of get tired of saying the same things when it comes to the coaching, as far as coaching decision and mismanaging time and things like that. And also the drops. I mean, obviously that was ugly. I don't think we've ever had a game like that before. Um, they probably jinxed us because right before that game, they were talking about how no wide receiver on the Ravens had dropped a pass to that point. And then
Mm-hmm.
in that game, it seemed like everybody dropped a pass. I mean, Mark Andrews had some, Zay, Bateman, Aguilar, like it was contagious. It was I never seen anything like that before. So that was definitely the ugly.
Me, the good, definitely Lamar. Like I said, the drop passes don't happen. He has over 300 yards, at least both three touchdowns. Because like I said, Aguilar dropped it for sure touchdown. Bateman dropped one, Andrews dropped one. So it was just drop city. Yeah, remember the old Madden cow with the hands of stone? Somebody
Yep.
must have
I got.
activated that card because it was crazy. The
Hmm.
running game was pretty decent. Gus was averaging four and some change, almost 5 yards a carry. Same thing with Justice Hill. So the running game that was good. The
Yeah.
defense, they like I said, they played great for outside of prior free plays. So that was the only good for me. Bad. situational play calling. When you get to the red zone, you got go I formation. You got a 300-pound fullback. Feel me, Cal, like, and Shannon, like, go I formation. You got let recall lead the way. You run Gus. Gus 260 pounds. Like, so I'm not liking the running out of the shotgun on short yardage. I think we need to go I formation, especially if fumbling has been an issue. If he under center, it's much easier for him to go boom boom. So bad couple penalties that hurt us. That kept drives going, and let's see what else. And a couple missed tackles on Jalen Warren that extended the drive. Ugly turnovers for sure. The fumble, which wasn't more so his fault. T.J. Watt strip sack, but still, you got to hold the ball. Offensive line got to do a better job protecting. Like the first half, they made sure T.J. Watt wasn't effective. In the second half, they just went away from the game plan. He wrecked shop. Uh, the drops, that was ugly, super ugly. That was like that was the tail of the game. And Harbaugh decision not to take the points that hurt us. So that was my good bad night.
All right.
I think we're Shannon.
So let's move on to position grades. How do you grade the coaches?
Go ahead, Kyle.
I give them. Are we going just position specific, like offensive, defensive coordinators? Because I get
All
honestly,
three. Yeah.
I get McDonald. I give McDonald probably about a B plus. McDonald will get a
Okay.
B plus out of me. With Harbaugh being a special teams guy, I don't feel like we should have had a block punt. Um, it seemed like for some reason this year we giving up a lot of punt return yards. For some reason, we gave up a punt return to the Cincinnati Bengals. The kid that the Steelers had returning, he was getting off a little bit, so I would give him probably give him about a D because I feel like them 2 points kind of also help shift the momentum, especially with us not taking them 3 points before the half. So I give him about a D, and Monken, I give him a B minus. Like you said, I'm sorry, about a C plus B minus. I say that because, like you said, the running schemes don't really seem to be gelling right now. And I thought with us having these backs, the zone scheme would be a lot easier for them to, be able to read and hit the holes. But it seems like sometimes it's hit or miss, or somebody may miss a block and they gotta make a miss. But I am satisfied to say that I see Justice Hill, Gus Edwards, and them, carrying the load, even though JK went down.
Okay, go ahead, Shannon.
I'm gonna say C overall. C, like I said, the defensive coordinator, I feel like it was a great game plan. It was situations where guys were missing tackles and missing assignments and stuff like that. But I definitely don't understand how we left Mullen out on the island like that at the end of the game. Like the Steelers have nobody else but Pickens making plays, and you leave the man who just came back from injury, just first came back from surgery, out on the island by himself. I thought that was so crazy. But overall, it wasn't a bad defensive plan. Like I said, they're the reason why we were in the game. As far as Monken is concerned, again, I didn't really have an issue with the offensive play calling. It was more or less the players dropping the balls. So if balls were caught, it would have been a different game all the way around. I do hate that we kind of get away from the run. I mean, I've always complained about that. I feel like when something is working, you need to stick with it. Um, so, it wasn't a bad game. It was okay. And to add John Harbaugh into that, like I said, every week we're saying the same things kind of with him, with the issues that he's having. And Justin, you know that I talked about special teams being a concern for me because I noticed different things, even with us not getting a particular yardage, fair catching when you could try to get some yards, giving up big plays, like all of that matters. So I'll give them overall a C. It was just an okay day for the coaches. They definitely could have been better.
I'm gonna go C as well. Like I said, defensively we did good, but like you said, we left Maul on the island, knowing he was out for always since training camp. You can't. You got to give him some help. I know he's an All Pro corner. I get he makes $20 million a year, but still he hasn't played football in a while. So you got to gradually put him back in. He should have been in the slot that whole entire game. And
Hmm.
Stevens and Darby should have been over there with for safety help. Like, what do you
Right.
zero blitzing for? If you can't get home with your 4 or 5, it's like, then hey, at least make them keep everything in front of us. So yeah,
Hmm.
definitely McDonald pulled the wink on that one because that's something Wink would have done. Like both
Exactly.
coordinators at points in the game reverted back to their predecessors that they took over for. Monken
Mm-hmm.
didn't run the ball enough and stay with the run game as Giro did at times. Didn't stay with the run game. And McDonald went zero blitz, went 5. So both of them resorted back to the old habits from their previous coordinators. Harbaugh, once again, like I said, we all like him, we all love him, but he has to be better at game management and game decisions. Like take the points. You got Justin Tucker. Like you got a kicker that everybody in the
Mm-hmm.
league will give their left arm for. Use them. Use them. Like get
Mm-hmm.
the bit aggressive and analytics. You gotta know when and where to do that. Right now, you got a banged up O line. You down to your second, third string running backs. Like take the points, man. Take the points. It's the same old thing. It's one thing we just went out there and got our ass kicked. It is what it is. But we keep
Mm-hmm.
losing games off the same stuff. It's like you said. You keep doing the same thing, expecting different results in Cincinnati. So I don't know. We you get a couple more losses like the same way. 'Cause I don't know. It might be time to have that conversation, man. But put him on the hot seat. I know it triggers it triggers a little tension amongst the fan base. But it's like, hey, I'm just it's what have you done for me lately? You know what I mean? 2 playoff wins in the last 10 years. So it's like, come on now. We rocking with you because of your body of work, but this what have you done for me lately? League. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Now, let me read
I
it.
gotta get him.
Let me read this tweet that I seen. Yeah, I think I saw this yesterday.
Yeah.
It says not win after a punt return fumble when the team gives you a score, not win after safety versus Indy when you possess the ball right after, and both of these plays happen under 5 minutes in a game. You know how I feel about Harbaugh. I defend Harbaugh a lot all the time, probably to a fault, right? But when you keep having the same situations happen like that, I do think that he gets the guys prepared for games, but I don't know if they're
Hmm.
always prepared for situational football. Like I'm concerned about why we keep making the same mistakes. And it's something that I think it might have been Warren said. He was talking about why like Bill Belichick way doesn't work much more, and how Josh McDaniels is trying to run his team. The same can kind of be said for John Harbaugh. I think that John Harbaugh brought discipline to Baltimore, like when we needed it to the team, a little bit more discipline, structure, culture. I appreciate all of that. Now you got a whole new wave of guys coming in. And even though I think the guys like Harbaugh, like all of them say good things about him. And I mean, I don't think that they would go out of their way to do that if they really didn't like him. But something is missing somewhere when you keep losing the same way. And we're only in week 5, so obviously it can be fixed. But you gotta think that's a concern right now. Like, why does this keep happening? So as much as I love John Harbaugh, he every all the flack that he's getting for that game on Sunday and what he got after the Colts game and what may be to come, it's deserving. And you know how I feel about him, but you got to look at somebody like, why does this keep happening? You know what I mean?
To piggyback off that, then before we go to the next topic, when he first got here, he had locker room leaders. Like he had Ring,
Mm-hmm.
and Sizzle, Nada, even Joe Flacco towards the end started being more vocal. Where so he didn't have to do too much. He probably had to,
Mm-hmm.
do his thing. Now he has a more younger team. Now he has to figure out, dang, does my message still hit the same? Because Ray was the one really getting everybody like, hey man, Harbaugh, you said what you said, get out now. I got him now, feel me?
Right,
So
right.
Ray was more so the leader of the ship. Whereas Harbaugh, all he had to do was show up, put the game plan in, and roll. Now he got to do a little bit more speaking. So now it might not hit the same. But like I said, we try and rock with him because like I said, he is a winning coach. But you're only as good as what you've done lately. So like I said, man, we keep getting bonehead losses like this. It's time to have that conversation whether people like it or not. All right,
All
our
right.
next topic. Go ahead, co-host.
So all of that was a great segue into the next topic, because after the game on Sunday, we had a lot of different people blaming different things of, blame to go around, right?
Right.
So who do you think is the blame for losing to the Steelers on Sunday?
You go ahead, Cal. You're the guest.
It's we all know football is a team sport. Everybody's dependent on everybody. Um, it's a two-way blame game for me. I'm going with the O line and the receivers. We pay Ronnie Stanley entirely too much money for him to be performing at the rate that he's performing, and the lack of availability that we're getting. I understand the ankle injury was definitely a devastating one, but you can't allocate all that money to you. You're not available. And it was Highsmith and T.J. Watt was having a field day. Second half, crunch time. You feel me? And like I said, like we all said, the drops. I got one question before it's in the inside it's in the topic, but yeah, I honestly feel like Bateman is getting all this flat because he hasn't been available, or because he hasn't been available for the most part.
I think that plays a part. Oh,
Yeah,
he must.
I think so
He
too.
oh, his phone might have went mute.
Hold on, I think I'm gonna have to. Somebody must probably try to call him. Hold
Hmm.
on, add him back. Hold on, leave out Kyle and come back in.
We can't hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, just give us a second. Yeah, he probably had string up a tripping. Yeah, Bateman definitely he definitely gets a hand in this because he got to catch the ball. Like that was a touchdown. It hit him right in the chest.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So yeah, you got to catch that ball. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Go ahead, finish what you saying, Kyle.
No, I was asking if y'all thought like the flack that he was getting, behind that one bad game, because for the most part he's been pretty short-handed. When he's on the field, he had that bad that foot injury, same towards Hollywood Brown that he had, but he did come back, and every time he come back, has a sneaky good game. It's not no over the top crazy thing because we spread the ball around here, but he been consistent for the most part, and I feel like he getting a lot of unwarranted and unnecessary flack for a bad game. His first game back off a hamstring, but just want to get your opinion on within the topic though.
Yeah, I think that his availability is the reason why a lot of people have an issue. The same thing we say about Ronnie Stanley. Ronnie Stanley is one of the better left tackles in the league, but he hasn't been available to us due to injury. You know what I mean? And same, you pay him all of that money. Now we're going to start talking about his money because you're not available to us. With Bateman, we expected him to be the number one wide receiver. So when you have expectations like that, yeah, fans become a little bit disappointed. So I do think that him being available can help because obviously he can play. It's just
Mm-hmm.
he really hasn't played much, and him and Lamar doesn't have the same chemistry that we saw Lamar have with Hollywood, or that we could see Lamar building with Zay Flowers.
Right, understood.
Yeah, yeah, same. He just he got to get in the rhythm. Like I said, being in and out of the lineup definitely is going to throw off timing and chemistry between him and Lamar. Like I said, the touchdown that was just as easy as it get. That's just him not being in sync. That's just him not being prepared in that position. In that position, he probably wasn't expecting the ball to come to him. So I think
Right,
more reps between them two, and him definitely staying on the field. We know he can play. He showed that he's a good receiver. So he just
Hmm.
got to stay. He just got to be available and just build that and stay at the practice, get them extra little reps in with Lamar. You know, then I think Lamar gonna be feel more comfortable to go to him in those situations a little bit more.
okay.
Yeah, but
Um,
back to what you saying. Who you put fault for this loss, Cal?
Like I said, the O line and the receivers. The two biggest. I felt those are the two biggest takeaways from this game. Even though it's been a shuffle up front, I'm going with those two.
Go ahead, Sean.
um, For me, I do think that it's a lot of blame to go around. Like I said, you can divide it however you want in percentages. We could talk about the coaches, like I mentioned with the coaching. Marlon shouldn't have been out there on the island by himself. Like that was just crazy to me. And had that not happened and that touchdown not happened, it probably still could have been a different game. But I really put it on the players because, as I like to say, I don't care about what a coach say, what play they call. If you execute it, we having a different conversation. And it was a lot of times that they couldn't execute. They didn't do the right thing. They defensively, they weren't in the right place. Offensively, you're dropping passes. Offensively, you're not blocking for Lamar. Offensively, we're turning the ball over. We can't do that. Um, and even with all the mistakes that we had, even with Harbaugh wanting to have a trick play and try to draw them off sides and not taking the points, even with all the drops that we had, with all of that, we still had a chance to win that game. right?
Mhm.
So you look at that possession when we get the turnover and we're in the red zone. I'm thinking, boom, we about to score. I felt like we were about to score. It was on a plate, on a silver platter for us to score. I
Mhm.
didn't like the play calling in that situation. I didn't like Lamar throwing to Odell on the inside. If you were going to do that, I didn't like any of that. Then to get the ball back, we fumble. I understand that it wasn't his fault, but still, like it happened, right? So to me, it's all of them, all of the players, not just one group, because you can point to each person and say you didn't do this and you didn't do that. You didn't. To me, it was all of them. We had ample opportunities to win that game. I don't
Mhm.
feel like the Steelers beat us. I feel like we beat ourselves.
For sure.
They were giving us we were giving them the game. They were giving it back, and we just couldn't take it. So I put that on the players. And like Justin, you just mentioned when John Harbaugh came in, we had a lot of leaders in the locker room, and I agree with you. I've said that before on this show that we're lacking dogs. We have Roquan Smith on the defense. We know that he's that guy. He's already proven it. He's a leader vocally. He's a leader by action. We've seen it. We've seen the guys like this rally around him all together. We don't have that offensively. In my opinion, I feel like Lamar got too emotional. And I know that Ravens fans don't like to say negative things about Lamar, but he was so emotional during that game. I don't feel like he could calm himself down. And then it's not anybody else on the sideline, not a coach, not a player, that could have said, relax. Even with all of the drops that was going on, who was telling them, okay, don't worry about it. We got this next time. Like everybody was just going to their own corners. Like they weren't talking to each other. I'll never forget the divisional round in the playoffs against the Broncos, right? Jacoby Jones dropped a pass. Boom. He's on the sideline and he's upset and like down on himself because he did that. Ray Lewis says, "Don't worry about it. You gonna catch the game winning pass." And it
I
happened,
remember that.
right? We
I
we
remember
we
that.
don't know. We don't know that it's gonna happen. But you speak life into people. I don't feel like anybody on that sideline is speaking life into each other. And I don't feel like, honestly, I don't feel like that's necessarily John Harbaugh's purpose in that moment, only because he still has a whole team to look after. So if I'm over here trying to, pacify the offense, then I'm missing out on what the heck is going on defensively. You got your offensive coordinator sitting up in the booth, which Justin, we talked about not liking that.
I
So
hate that
so
shit.
who is really going to be the guy offensively to say, get over it? Like I remember Ray Rice fussing up the offensive line for not getting 1 yard. Like we don't have any duds offensively. If Lamar could have just calmed down, right? When we got that turnover, we were in the red zone. I feel like if Lamar would have calmed down, or anybody, Mark Andrews, Ronnie Stanley, if somebody in that huddle would have said, "Guys, relax, we got this. We want to win this game," right? I just feel like it could have been different. I feel like they were all flustered. If you think back, Zay Flowers didn't even know what the hell was going on. John Harbaugh had to call a timeout because Zay Flowers didn't know what Zay Flowers shrugged his shoulders. And Lamar was still willing to go on with the play until John Harbaugh called that timeout. That's the problem. We need somebody offensively that can really calm the guys down, get themselves out of their own heads. Like I feel like the drops just became contagious. I seen Aguilar go over to Lamar one after the drop and he like tapped him on his helmet, like basically saying like my bad. I don't even think Lamar engaged in that moment. You still got to stick together because you're trying to win a game. You know what I mean? So yes, when we talk about the difference between John Harbaugh team with Ray Lewis and them and John Harbaugh now, we don't have the players on this team that can really say get it together. I told you before, Justin, that I don't even remember who he was playing, and it might have been last year or the year before that. Somebody made a mistake on the field. Lamar like got into them about whatever they didn't do, and then Ronnie Stanley got on Lamar for getting on that person. And it's not to say that I want to see discord or I want to see fussing. I want to see y'all acting like y'all care. I don't want to see you on the sideline pouting. I don't want to keep seeing y'all go on the sideline throwing helmets. Bateman was throwing a helmet. Lamar was throwing a helmet. To me, that's performative anger. I don't like all of that. And then some guys who can get angry like a Pat Mahomes or a Tom Brady, you see them on the sideline and you see they get angry and you see them come back on the field and they're doing something amazing. And you like, that's why he's him, right? This is not to say Lamar is not him. It's just to say that I've noticed that when Lamar gets flustered, it changes the game. And we need him to be poised and under control because you can't get flustered because then everybody else gets flustered. If one person in that huddle would have said, everybody breathe, relax, we got this. I really do think that could have been a difference in that situation. I think we would have got some points.
I completely agree. Before I get into the, put blame, I'll get into that stuff. But to piggyback off what you said, definitely when we say Lamar at his best, it's when he was always calm and collected. Like against the Chiefs a couple years ago, we was down 2 scores. He came back and
I
won
was
the
at that
game.
game. I was
I
at
was
that
there
game.
too. I was there too. Yeah, he was calm. He led us back. Boom. Against the Colts Monday night. I was at that game too. We down 2, 3 scores. He come back, put on the best game as a Raven in my opinion. Outside of the 5 touchdown games, 400 some yards, 4 touchdowns. Boom, and he ran 400. Boom. He was calm. Even the game against Cleveland when he threw 4 interceptions, probably his worst game ever. He was
I was
calm,
at that.
collected. I was at that game too. I go majority of the games. He came back, boom, hit Andrews, and was able to finish the game, lead to a win. He plays his best football, like you said, when he's calm, collected, and chilling, having fun. Like when he's flustered and all that, that's when he gets erratic. He start pressing. He start like that pass to Bateman. I mean, I passed. Not Bateman. Sorry, Odell Beckham. He was trying to force that to keep Odell happy because Odell probably on the
Hmm.
sideline. He's like, I got you. Oh, I'm gonna get you your numbers. That 18 million is only gonna be 18 million if Odell hit them numbers. Right now, it's just gonna be 15. So he want to get them a center. So Lamar, like, I got you. Like he should have thrown that ball out of bounds or throw it away and just live for three, but he really tried to force a fade to Odell, who's 5'11", and it's Joey Porter, who's 6'2". Like that didn't make no sense. So, like
Hmm.
you said, that was just out of just frustration. So, yeah, we definitely need guys to definitely keep everything in check. Harbaugh, I'm not expecting him to be like how John Gruden, those guys were. That's not Harbaugh's personality. He's going to say his stuff like after the game and all that. But that's he's not going to do all the extra stuff, and rightfully
Hmm.
so. Like you said, he got other things to worry about. But far as who I put blame on, oh yeah, Shannon be back. It's just string out tripping. I'm gonna go with the offensive line for one. They played okay first half, then the second half they just I don't know what made them just get away from the game plan that worked. They kept T.J. Watt at bay. He ain't do nothing first half. Second half they just let him run loose. Him and Highsmith. The wide receivers, they get the biggest piece of the pie. 9, 10 drops, man. Three of them was touchdowns for sure. They get the biggest piece of the blame pie. Dennis Lamar, because he had an okay game before all that happened, but 2 turnovers. One of them he really couldn't control, but still, you at least can hold the football and tuck it away. And then the interception, like we just talked about, man, you can't do that, man. Nobody defends Lamar more than me, Shannon, but you can't do that. That's like that was stupid. That was flat out stupid. And then Harbaugh, he get a little piece of the pie because, like I said, the decision not to take the points and stuff like that. And then even with the interception, you should have told you should have he gotta sometimes he got it's okay to let your coordinator do their job. That's why they love him. That's fine. But as a head coach, if things don't go right, who's the first person getting fired?
The
you.
coach.
You, it's gonna fall on you. Like, yeah. So you gotta go to Monken and say, hey man, we're on a goal line, let's go our formation. That's when you go 3 tight ends and stuff like that, like we used to do. That's when you play big boy football. All that cute, sophisticated bullshit goes out the window. Excuse my French, guy. I know you got your kids there.
Oh, she
Yeah,
good. She gone.
that's where all that goes out the window. Phil, you me and Cal, man, you play football, so you know this. That's what it's mano a mano. Like
Mm-hmm.
football is not it's an easy game. Like I don't know why these offensive geniuses want to make it so complex and 4 or 5 receivers on the field, and you only need 3.5 yards. Like go our fullback,
Hmm.
you got a 300-pound fullback. No linebacker in the league wants to meet him in the hole, like AJ say all the time. Then Gus coming behind him, no. So it's like we be stopping ourselves on the goal line. We should average the most goal line touchdowns in the league with the personnel we got. I'm just saying, but it's just
Hmm.
it's play calling. Like Pat Ricard, if nothing else, should be in the game for short yardage, goal line, and for pass protection. Nothing else. Get your money's out. Get your money's worth from him, some way somehow. But the recap for those who just turning in, I'm gonna go receivers, O line, Lamar Harbaugh. Those the 4 people to blame. All right, let's go to our next topic. Go ahead, Shannon.
All right. So, do you notice a big difference between Todd Monken's offense versus Greg Roman's?
Go
Yes.
ahead, Kyle.
Yes, I do. I feel like it's a complete 180. Now, honestly, do I wish we could have put Greg Roman as our run game coordinator? Absolutely, 100%. I feel like that would have been a match
That
made
would
in
have been
heaven
nice. That would have been nice.
because Greg Roman's run schemes were unmatched. I don't feel like anybody can put a run game scheme like he can. And watching, I don't know if y'all watched the YouTube channels called All 22. He does a great job breaking down the
Yeah,
Ravens
yeah, yeah, yeah.
offense, Todd Monken, things
Mhm.
like that. I've been watching him for probably about the past 2-3 months, and the concepts that that Monken's putting in the offense as far as passing wise, I feel like they top tier. You feel me? Putting a lot of guys in conflict. You know, you getting the easy layup throws. Not everything is between the numbers, throwing it between linebackers. You know, even though we know Lamar can do it because he's been doing it for so long, I feel like it's a big difference because the run game isn't popping like it normally was, but it's still there a little bit to an extent because of the players that we have. But the passing game is 10 times better than what it could have been. So I feel like it's more of like a contrast, like where it's like, one got better than the other or things of that sort. But I would say definitely for sure, I see a big difference in the offenses. Is if it's for the better, still, still up in the air. We'll figure it out. But I think by the time the season's end, we'll have it together. So I think it's definitely a good mix and a good match for Lamar and the offense that we got. So I feel like, yeah, definitely for sure, it's a big difference.
Go ahead, Shannon.
Um, for me, I can't say that it's a big difference only because, and it's not anything against this offense. I think that the biggest issue is that we haven't really had all of our guys. You know, you can't get the full effect of what you want to do when you don't have people available for you. So the scheme, like the comment just says, the passing wise, we can see the big difference, right? And then, like you also said, if we can mix in Greg Roman's run scheme, that will make it be like that would be spectacular.
Mm-hmm.
But the biggest thing is like we don't have our guys available. So I think the game against was it the second game? I think it was week two. I think week two gave me the best outlook on what this offense can be. But I think that we need to have Bateman and Odell on a field to make it be more explosive. Because
Mm-hmm.
when they're available, then they can have more chemistry with Lamar, and then we can do more things. I
Mm-hmm.
don't think that we should get away from running the ball. Like running the ball is part of Baltimore's identity. Playing defense and running the ball, we have to be able to run the ball. And if it's working, don't stop doing it. Like don't just pass the ball just for GP. But passing wise is definitely a big difference. I just think it will be even a bigger. It will look differently because like even the national media is talking about this. It will look differently if we had our guys, all 5 weeks. Like we literally just got Bateman and Odell back. Yep, Sunday, and like that might take some time. But we also said in the off season, I know I said that I expected growing pains. So I don't expect them to go out there and be perfect. I just don't notice like a big difference right now. It's just like I wish we could do some of that. I noticed that you do that better than him. It probably would look different if we had these guys, but I do think that with more time and guys being available, we will see a big difference in the offense.
I'm raising my hand like I'm in school, real quick. Another thing on Monk, that Greg Roman didn't do, he actually adjust. If you
Mm,
watch that Browns game where it was the first half, it wasn't even the second half. The first half they was just crashing. Zadarius Smith and Miles Garrett. Both
mhm,
was just crashing in, but he mixed the misdirection in, walk in touchdown. That's also a big difference in our offense. We actually are adjusting to defenses and not just sticking with the game plan and running our
mhm,
head up against the wall and it's not working. That's another thing I wanted to add on to. I'm sorry.
No,
mhm.
you good, Cal. Good. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. You can see the passing concepts, the formations. With Greg Roman, it was all out of heavy stuff. Three tight ends, one receiver. Now with Monk, you see more 11, more 12 personnel, more 21. So the field is more spread out now. It's not condensed. There's now the receivers can really do their thing. Remember, receivers did not want to play here with Greg Roman was the
Mhm.
offensive coordinator. He said, "No, Lamar, my guy, but I can't play in that scheme." Now with Todd Monken here, you getting Odell here, you getting people want to sign, all these receivers want to come. So that alone shows you it's a big difference because of spacing. Only thing
Mhm.
Monken got to do is, like I said, the run game's working, stick with it. Because now, if teams put 9, 10 in the box now with your passing scheme, they're done. They're gonna be in trouble. You play us with no safety and say Flowers beat the receiver off the jam or Bateman Odell and Aguilar at times, that's six. Especially when Andrews up the same with no safety, six. So yeah, run the ball, make them bring them safeties up, make them go single safety, cover zero, whatever, and then throw it over their head. It's easy money. But yeah,
Hmm.
it's definitely a big difference though. Cause like I said, now defense is like, oh yeah, these motherfuckers can really throw the football now.
Mm-hmm.
Home
Hmm.
agree with Big Salah said that we went to the next time. He said with his scheme, the passing game going to get receivers open. That's true. That's
The
true.
receivers don't get the receivers open. If everybody can get healthy and be on the field, you know, the receivers are gonna get each other open.
Yeah, that's facts. That's facts. All right, let's go to
Hmm.
last topic. Go ahead, Shannon.
Okay, so we're a quarter through this season. Would you say the Ravens are a good team?
Go ahead, Cal.
Yeah, but we just lack consistency. I think we have all the pieces to be honest, to be a great team, but we just lack consistency right now. Um, that's honestly all I really got to say on that. Like if we can get consistent, I feel like we can really be dangerous. Like because we play up to the good teams, but when we play the bad team, we play down. Whoosh. And it's just one of them things where it's like kind of it reminds me of the season when after Joe got paid, we went 500. And you feel me? Everybody's playing kind of that separation type of ball. We got this guy doing his own thing, another guy doing his own thing. But once everybody come together, I feel like it'll be a completely different unit. It'll be a great unit. But as of right now, I feel like we're an okay team on the on the break of being a good team if we can put it all together.
Hmm.
Okay, go ahead, Shannon.
And that's exactly what I was going to say. I think that we're an okay team that could be a good team. They say you are what your record says you are, right? So we're
Mm-hmm.
3-2, and the problem that I had with being 3-2 is the way we lost the two games. They were both winnable games, and Justin, like I said to you after we lost to the Colts, good teams find ways to win those games. Same thing against the Steelers. If you are a good team, you find a way to win that game. I don't think we're there yet. But I definitely think that, like I said, like I mentioned in the last segment, with getting more guys back, I think that it'll be better. You got to realize, like Ronnie Stanley, that was his first game back. Marlon Humphrey was just coming back. Odell, Bateman, like we're bringing guys back and kind of expecting them to have an impact. And it's not to excuse them, but it's kind of a reason. So I think that we've been banged. No, we know that we've been banged up since week one. Like every
Preseason.
week, right? Every week we were losing guys, not knowing when they were going to come back, when they were going to be available. Just so happened week five, some guys came back, right? So I think that with them coming back, I think that with more time, more chemistry, more practice time for everybody, we can be a good team. Um, it's just the way we lost these two games. Like I said, when you're a good team, you find ways to win these games. We watch it every week. We see teams battle to the end all the time. And the team that you think is the good one, they normally come out on top. So the Ravens can be a good team, but right now, after the first quarter, I'll just say we're an okay team.
I'm gonna just beg to differ a little bit with you guys. But everything y'all saying is true. I think we're a good team that just shot itself in the foot 2 games. Like I said, self-inflicted stuff. So yeah, those stuff that can be cleaned up. Like I said, good teams always sometimes beat themselves. Like you seen it happen with the Chiefs. They beat themselves a couple of times when they shouldn't have lost a certain team. It happened. So we know what the issues are: turnovers, decision making, and durability. Is we can only control that to an extent, but we know the issues with that. So we're gonna clean that up. I'm pretty sure they had an all players meeting before they left for London. Like me personally, I think we're gonna go on a little bit of a win streak soon because I think Eric DeCosta is gonna make a move. I don't know what position. If I had to put my money on it, I would say corner or probably like an offensive lineman. Probably like to get us because John Simpson he hasn't been living up to the bill, and I know Eric DeCosta see that. So I think he may make a move and get a guard somewhere, or like I said, another corner edge rusher. I think we're pretty set there, especially when Bowser come back. And no way. But I think he's gonna make a move for a corner or another offensive lineman. And then once we get everybody back healthy, yeah, I think we're gonna go on a nice little winning streak. I'm not saying we're gonna do what we did in 19 and went out, but I think we can. I think we want to go on a nice little 4 or 5 win streak, me personally, because we see the issues, and now we about to correct it.
That's the
Hmm.
thing. We all our problems are fixable problems. It's not like it's things that's not in our control. You
Right.
know, drops. Just get on the jug machines a little more. I feel like we're gonna be all right. I feel like once everybody start playing like they know how to play, we're gonna be all right. We're gonna be all right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we're gonna probably. I think we're gonna win about 4 or 5 in a row. Because I look at the schedule. Titans is definitely winnable. Detroit, even though they're playing good ball, they got to come to us. That's winnable. Like the rest of, like I see the next couple games. There's some winnable games, especially with Bowser coming back. Oway, Jabo, he may or may not be back. But yeah, so I think we can go in. I think we can, we can finish at least excuse me, at least 13-4, 12-5 at worst. Me personally.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all think we're gonna sweep
Oh,
sweep the rest of the North the second meeting since they all got to come to us?
I believe so. I don't think we're gonna lose another division game. I think we're gonna go 5-1. Me personally.
Yeah, I do too.
I agree.
Oh man, great show. Cal, thank you for joining us. Shannon, great topics, man. So we're gonna go around the clock. We're gonna do final remarks. Cal, any final remarks will be in the show?
Please, people. It's early in the season. It's early in the season. The sky not falling. Hold on, mama. The sky not falling. It's gonna be all right. We got a new offense. It's gonna look a little different come week 10 than it do now in week 6. Just let it rock. Our defense gonna hold us down. We're gonna be great. Flock Nation. See y'all at the back.
Mhm.
Yes, sir, man. Thank you again for coming on. Go ahead, co-host.
The only thing I have to say is hopefully the Orioles can win tonight. They made
Yes,
this
Lord.
weekend they made this weekend a little rough. But if we can go 1-0 today, then we're still alive. So we got a couple of minutes into the game, and I'm rooting for them. Go O's.
Yeah, man, you both like it was a rough weekend for me. My Canes lost, Ravens lost, and Orioles lost, so I was a little hurt about that. So, but hey, it is what it is. Hopefully, the Orioles can win and win out. Ravens bounce back, Miami Hurricanes bounce back, and it'll be a much better week for me. So,
Mhm.
definitely, man. Yeah, that's the O's Neo support tonight. Everybody tune in, even if it's only for an inning or just for a little bit. Just
Yeah.
just watch a little bit. It needs support tonight. Oh,
Mhm.
everybody. Oh, man. Great show as usual. Thank you, Cal, for coming on, man.
Of
You
course, y'all be
was
safe, man.
fire. Yeah, we definitely gonna reach out to you again, man. Because like I said, man, you know the game, you play the game. So yeah, we definitely gonna
Yeah, next time
get
I had
more
my
out.
purple on, I was cooking my string beans, so I had my purple on this time.
It's all good, man. It is all good. Oh man, like I said, Thursday, same time, 7 p.m. Eastern. Dave will be back on here. We're gonna do the preview of the game versus the Titans in London. Oh man, so then we got some good stuff coming on. So everybody, make sure you trade. If you don't know what trade mean, it's right there at the top. Talk Ravens all day, every day from your host Justin P, my VP co-host Miss Shannon Finch, and our special guest Kyle. I don't want to mess your last name up, so I'm just gonna say Kyle. We love y'all guys. We're gonna see y'all Thursday, same bad time, bad channel. We are out.
Good night.
All right, y'all.
Good night, Shannon.